I was little, I thought the words of the alphabet were the names of things. I learned to read at 6 and could send out most of them, and by the time I was 8, I could do that and a few more. I'd found an old book in a house near my father's, a children's primer with pictures and one word on each page. It had the letter A, and a little boy walking with his mother down a street, and the word apple. Then it had the letter B, a boy in a boat, the word B. I thought it was beautiful that all the things in the world were named like that, so that anyone could tell them apart just by reading them. So when I started school, I made a list of the letters in order and put them on my desk. I told my mother, but she didn't understand, and my father thought I was being stupid. I like that, though. I used to go home from school and read my books under the covers until my mother called me in for supper. I was always interested in how things worked. When I was little, I tried to make my toy cars run with a toy battery that my father had given me. My father told me that you needed real electricity to make a car run. It's not enough to push the button and get something to happen, he said. And he told me about electricity and what it did. That's when I started trying to figure out how things worked and how I could use my knowledge to do things myself. The first time I got into trouble was when I was 9 and a boy I knew was making a car run with electricity from a toy battery. I told him that it wasn't going to work and then showed him how it could. He got mad at me. "You're a kid, so what do you know?" he said. And when he said it, he knew it was true. So he got even madder and started hitting me. It hurt and made me angry, but it also made me start to think. The next time someone got mad at me because they thought I wasn't right, I was better prepared. I looked up everything I could find about how things worked. I was good at getting the facts straight. I started with electricity because my father explained it to me, and I could talk about that without making people mad at me, at least for a while. Then I got into computers. I used to work with my father in his office, and sometimes he let me play with his computer. We made a game together. It was fun, and later I made it again with other friends. One day I asked my father why he couldn't write games. He was surprised, and then he explained how to write them, how to program. It seemed really hard, but I wanted to learn it anyway. I still play the games I made, though now my friends and I have made some changes. It's kind of fun, seeing the way things change over time, or sometimes they don't change at all, and you can keep on playing them and they'll still be there waiting for you to play them again. It's like visiting your own life, but in a game. I'm 17 now, and I work in a company where they make computers. They make games and software, too. I like my job because there are so many things that can be done, so many kinds of machines. I like to build new things and figure out how they work, and sometimes I even help other people with their work. I like it best when I get to play around with a new kind of machine. I try to find the best ways to do things, to make the programs work better and faster. My boss is glad because we get to keep working on the company's machines and he gets to keep selling them. It's not as much fun for me as it is for the customers. They get to use our games and software, and they seem to like them, and then they give us money for them. I guess it's a lot like writing, too. Some people like writing stories and novels and things, and some people like making money. But when I make games for other people, I feel closer to writing. Sometimes it's fun to make up the story myself and then put it into words and see what comes out. But there's nothing like hearing someone tell you their story. My friends have been asking me if I'm going to write a book, or maybe I should just make up a story about a game, but I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to decide. I'm thinking about it. The truth is, I'm not really a writer yet. There are all these people who say they know about writing and about writers, but they don't know anything because they've never written anything. You have to have written something before you can teach other people how to do it. It would be a good idea if there were more people who knew how to write so that writers wouldn't have to feel alone. It would make things better for all of us. But then again, if people knew how to write, then they wouldn't need a writer. When I started writing this book, I thought it was going to be about me and my life in Newford. But then I realized that I didn't know enough about the whole world to write about it all. That's when I decided to make up another city. Newford is a big city, bigger than other cities, and Newford is always growing. It's not like Newford has been here forever. It's more like a big ship that keeps on moving around. People move away from their homes and leave everything behind and then come back years later with new clothes and new ideas, and sometimes they bring their old friends and their old enemies, too. But they can never quite bring everything they have with them because they have to leave some of it behind. They can only carry so much at a time. That's what happens with a city. It's the same as with a person, or a family, or anything else. So Newford is always changing and always the same, like me. It's true that my name is Lainey Lebovitz, and that my parents are named Robert and Valerie Lebovitz, and that they live in a place called Newford, but that's only part of who I am. And besides, no one would want to read about a kid like me. I'm going to change my name now so that I don't get in trouble again. It won't be easy. People have heard my name already and they might remember it. But there are things you can do when you're trying to be somebody new. You have to do some things that you'd rather not do. I'm going to call myself Samantha Alizade now. My first name is Samantha and my last name is Alizade, and those are the two most important things about me. I know this book won't change everything, but maybe it will be the beginning of something else. A new way to be. Maybe that will be enough for now.